Hey everyone, Richard Metalfan here, bringing you guys a new 2016 album review, and today we're going to be looking into the new album from Fallujah entitled Dreamless, which came out today. And for the occasion, I'm wearing my Fallujah Dreamless shirt that I got in when I saw them with the Black Dahlia murder about last weekend, about a couple weekends ago or so. But anyway, let's get into this album. This, for those of you who aren't familiar with Fallujah, they're a technical death metal band from San Francisco, California, that formed in 2007, I believe. And I've basically gotten to these guys about 2 years ago or so. And I mean, I discovered them, when they put out their previous album, 2014's The Flesh Prevails. I checked it out, and I thought it was pretty dope. And same thing when I checked out all their other stuff. And now we get to their third album, Dreamless. I sorry, fucked that up. But anyway, does this album actually exceed expectations from what The Flesh Prevails has? In my honest opinion, I think it has definitely. I think this album is a lot better than The Flesh Prevails. I think the band pretty much stepped it up tenfold. I mean, one thing to notice about the vocal work is just insane. I mean, Alex Hoffman's vocals are just really and especially his growls is just really just fucking brutal and heavy. It's just monstrous. So it fits really well with sort of like the kind of music, sort of like the synths and sort of the lead parts on this album is pretty awesome. The guitar work on this album is mind blowing. I mean, Scott Carskares and James's riffs are just really great. I mean, especially their leads playing and just the type kind of riffs that those dudes come up with is really great. Bass playing, I feel like the bass could be a little bit audible from Rob Moray's, but it's pretty good. And the drumming wise, I mean, my god, I mean, Andrew Bayard doesn't let up with this album. It's just he just freaking just goes insane on the drums. It's just insane. Yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this album track by track. Now the album opens up with the song Face of Death, which is a great opening track. It's kind of starts off very soothing, and it just goes right into the brutality with just some blistering riffs and just some insane vocal work from Alex. It's just a really great opener, a great way to start off this album. Then we get to Adrenaline, which this track pretty much explores how aggressive and schematic Fallujah can be without sort of abandoning sort of the atmospheric type vibe of their sound on this album. It's pretty much one of my favorite tracks. Then we get to The Void Alone, which is a pretty good song. It starts off kind of like a very airy intro, and then it just moves to just like very crushing with very speedy riffs. It also has a guest vocals from Tori Lester, if I'm saying that right. It actually has some clean vocals, and it sort of surprisingly fits really well, especially with Alex's screams and her clean singing is just pretty interesting. I think one of my favorite songs on this album. It's just really good. Then we get to Abandon, which features has another guest appearance from another female named Katie Thompson, which I have no idea who that is. But that's a pretty good song. I like that a lot. Then we get to another one of my favorite songs, Scar Queen, which is pretty much the most well-balanced song on this album. It sort of contains sort of like the atmospheric and sort of like the heaviness. It's sort of like the two-in-one. I really like this song a lot. And then we get to the title track, Dreamless, which is pretty much a great instrumental with some clean guitar parts and some really good vocals from. There's a bit of vocal parts on this and some really great synth melodies on this song. It's pretty good. But the Prodigal song it's kind of like a little bit of a mini suite, sort of like a very little progressive song. It kind of goes into like just crushing death metal to kind of like very ambient type music to even just some more mathy prog music. It's pretty much a really good standout song on this album. Then we get to Amber Gaze, which is one of the more memorable songs off this album. It's pretty much has some very fast riffs. It's some very steady drumming. I really like this song a lot, and another one of my favorites. Like, this album is pretty impressive. Then we get to Fidelio, if I'm saying that right. It's kind of, well, I consider this kind of like the little interlude of this album. It has some pianos in there, some echoes, and a bit of a spoken word part. It's kind of sort of like takes a little bit of a break from there. It's like the shortest track. It's like probably less than 3 minutes or so, and then it just goes into like brutality with sort of Wind for Wings. Just a very furious track. I love this song a lot. List Silences, which is a pretty good song. I like it. And then the album closes with Lacuna, which is pretty much a very bold way to end this album. It sort of introduces sort of like the technicality and sort of the energy, and it's sort of pretty much a really great way to end this album. Now, overall, Dreamless by Fallujah, it's a pretty good album. I think could be one of my top albums of the year, basically. So yeah, if I were to give this album a score, I'd probably give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. It's a pretty good album. If you haven't gotten this, buy this album. It's a must-have. So yeah, that's our review of the new Fallujah, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next video, and keep it metal.